Fur will be flying, and feathers too, as the Tigers and Jayhawks battle it out at the Border Showdown. Join this great rivalry at the new Arrowhead on Saturday, November 27th. Great seats are available for MU and KU at Ticketmaster.com or the stadium box office.
Okay, continued our preparations for the Oakland Raiders. Today we had a third down day with a review of first and second down also included in there. Tomorrow we'll get into the red zone and a complete review of all areas, but Thursday always a critical day. Situations in these games are a lot of the times what win and lose them for you, and today was a big day in that area. So we halfway through the practice went inside to for passing game reasons. I thought the wind was probably a little higher, at least from what I've seen so far, what it's going to be out there, that I thought splitting that up and getting inside for some of the most specifically offensive passing periods that would be beneficial. So continuing getting ready, and that will continue tomorrow, but it's coming fast now. Any questions?
How much, when you guys bring somebody in, generally, how much weight do you put on, and I think I sort of know the answer to this, but how much weight do you put on the character and leadership and sort of how it might affect the locker room that you've already got?
Well, I think we, like I said, are you referring to somebody specifically?
I'm just kind of on the heels of the Moss thing, but not specific to him. Just anytime you bring somebody in, how much?
I think any time we, you know, whether we draft somebody, sign a free agent, pick somebody up off the waiver wire, pick somebody that hadn't been on the waiver wire, that's been out on the street. A lot of different factors go into those things. A lot, you know, and like I said, we have multiple lists, some that are emergency lists, some that are future get better lists, a lot of different situations that will bring people in, but each and every possibility is discussed, and one of those factors is always you know, how it's going to help our team get better, and ultimately those are the guys that are that you'll see come through the doors.
Seems like chemistry is obviously a pretty difficult thing to build, and once you have it, how easy is it to disrupt that? I mean, can, you know, the wrong player disrupt or undo what you worked for a long time to build?
You know, we've all seen it happen at some point or another. Not necessarily dismantle, but it can disrupt. You know, at times. But you know, we're concerned with, you know, how we can get better each and every day. The people that are going to help us do that, which, you know, for the most part are within these walls right now. And, you know, to this point, it's a churning roster, and will stay that way forevermore. So we're always trying to figure out ways to get better. And there's a lot of different factors that go into each and every decision that's made. And sure, one of those is how we think somebody can come in and assimilate into the team.
You're talking about the churn will never stop, but as you become a better team, doesn't it slow down? Because it's tough to find people that are going to make you better.
Yeah, I think well, it may slow down. It depends what area you're churning, you know. But you know, competition is good, and competition helps everybody get better, and that's all we will continually try to do, is create competition and never let that stagnate as best we can, so that we make sure we are moving in the right direction. That's what we're doing.
You didn't have McCluster a week ago. What did you find difference it made in your offense to not have him, maybe even just as a possibility for the defense to think about?
Well, you know, like I said yesterday, I'm happy that we were able to be pretty productive in a number of different areas offensively, missing, you know, not only him, but Lilja, and we've had to deal with some of those things throughout the year, and that's part of the NFL. Guys think guys are going to get beat up to the point where they can't go, and then we got to have guys developed and ready as best we can and as best they can to step in and sometimes make you better, at least keep you baseline. And whenever you're missing somebody that's been playing 15, 20 plays a game, there's an adjustment, an adjustment of sorts. But the good thing is that it appeared we were able to continue making progress.
Derek Johnson has dropped a couple of interceptions. He's got a few too, but it's sort of an interesting thing. He seems to have the instincts and the chops, or maybe it's a scheme that puts him in the right place, and something he doesn't always hold on. How do you approach that as a coach to sort of say, look, you'll catch these or whatever? How do you sort of maintain his confidence, but also kind of help him hold on next time?
Well, I think the first thing you got to realize is if Derek had Jerry Rice hands, he'd probably be a tight end right now, but just because of his abilities. But no, I mean, the catches, the balls that I think you're referring to are none of those that I've seen are gimmies, so to speak, since we're on a golf reference every day now, trying to or not trying to, as yesterday. But those are all difficult plays to make, and you're just not going to make all those. Now, what our defense is working hard to be, and we're drilling and working on tip drills and disruption drills and all those things, is just being able to capitalize when you do get opportunities, and that's the name of the game. You have to. There's going to be things that occur in games, on all sides of the ball that give you a chance to make a big play, and we saw a number of those last week. That were not easy plays, offensively, defensively, and even some more subtle plays on special teams that maybe, were not seen unless you were really watching the tape. But that's the name of the game for us, is playing, doing the things that we know help us play good, sound football, being disciplined, being smart, playing together on all sides of the ball, and then capitalizing when opportunities come up. And when you're able to do that, good things happen, and generally that's when you see games separate themselves a little bit.
How important is it for this team where it is right now to take advantage of those opportunities?
Well, I think it doesn't matter whether it's now, later, or real late. The good teams do that. That's one of the things good teams do. They capitalize on opportunities that come up across the board. Like I said, knowing when to pounce, so to speak, and knowing when you've got an opportunity that can change the game is one of those factors to me of being a good team. Good teams do it most of the time. You're never going to do it all the time, but good teams do it a lot more of the time than other teams.
Chiefs have won with 7 straight in Oakland, and obviously that's spanned a lot of teams and a few coaches now. Have you ever been in a situation like that where it hasn't seemed to matter what the record is or what the personnel is like, but just one team has owned another, or vice versa?
Yeah, sure. I've been in that situation. When we were with the Jets, we got on a roll against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were a good team year in and year out. So somehow we figured out but that was home or away. This is a non-factor for us right now. This is our 4th game in the 2nd quarter of the season. It happens to be an AFC West opponent in the Raiders that's makes it a very important game for us anytime we play it, wherever we play it, and it is important that we just continue our progress and understand that the past has no bearing on right now, and if we think that it does, we'll be sadly mistaken. And we won't do we'll probably you'd have a tendency to not do the things that you need to do to play good, sound, smart football and capitalize on opportunities and all those things. So, we need to just continue our preparation and go out there Sunday to Oakland and play our best game.
So you think those instances are more like statistical anomalies rather than more of a comfort type feel in a certain venue?
I don't know. I'd always check with the team that ever, when they end those streaks, that's the one I'd check with.
You have been around here for a couple of years. Do you understand the magnitude of the Raiders-Chiefs rivalry and how important that is to a lot of people in Kansas City?
Yeah, I think that I do. I've been around the league long enough to have seen a lot of great games, great football games that build and feed into that rivalry. And like I said, when you have two men, you know, and Mr. Davis and Mr. Hunt that were such a big part of where the league is right now, you know, I think it's only added to that. And then you throw in the passion of our Kansas City fans, you know, and really it's not, you know, it's such a much broader reaching area than I ever understood, you know, here in this area and beyond. And like I said, the Raiders have some passionate fans of their own, but, you know, when you have those type of situations come together, it's makes for exciting times. So what I'm focused on is our team playing its best game, you know, this Sunday. And I think if we can do that, then, you know, we'll make a lot of people happy, namely ourselves.
Do you hate the Raiders?
I've said this. We're going to keep trying to get this one out there. But growing up a Steeler fan and all the games that the Raiders took away from some of my boyhood dreams and my father's dreams, you know, it was easy to dislike them. That H word's a strong word for me. I teach my kids not to say that when they can, even though I don't know how successful I am. I hear them yelling at each other.
Do you want your team to be passionate about a rivalry like this, or do you want them to be just focused on the job at hand, not looking ahead, not feeding into what could be a distraction?
I want them to be passionate about their job, you know, in this team. And I think that's the direction we're moving. That's really the most important thing, you know, that I think if our guys are passionate about this team, their team, and their jobs, which I've said is the greatest job in the world, in my opinion, then the right things will occur that will enable everybody to have the fun or the reward or the things that this is all about, you know, and all this sacrifice is about for all of these guys. So, you know, that's the focus, and just getting a little better every day and understanding that we need to. And I think the guys understand that, and they came out today and had their best Thursday so far.
You say that all the time, that they need to get better from last week to this week, last game. So how much better are they from week 1 to now?
Better, that's the critical thing. Better, you know,
Better like this, or?
You know, I think we're making improvement in a lot of different areas, and one of those is you know, our team in general. You know, the guys are getting closer and closer together, and that's a big part of it. You see more and more of that interaction and relationships that have to go on to be a good team and obviously to ever be a great team. Okay, thank you.